Hello. 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 Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Okay. Alright, guys. 5:04 here, March 13th. I have 26 minutes to the market open, so as always, gotta set some levels to begin today's trading session. Let's turn that down. Alright, let's see where the SPY and Qs are on the day. So setting up SPY to begin. This is the weekly chart here. I have a nice sell-off candle as of so far this week. So depending on how this candle closes, we have a bit of a shooting star here, bit of a shooting star here. So it's definitely more of a bearish signs for the overall market. So let's set some levels here to begin. I think the bottom of the weekly range will be good for support, so 663 is what I'm marking. And then seems to be some good resistance at 672. So we got that one out the way. Let's see. Alright, Qs, let's go to the Qs. Qs, kind of a bit of a consolidation here. You can see this little mini range here. Might be a little bit hard to tell, but there's a good size volume bar right here towards the top of that range. So it's a pretty good area, I think we can say, is resistance in regards to the price. So area of resistance, just finding the touch points, guys. So 611.43 for the high, and then the market has tested VWAP on the weekly, or Qs has tested VWAP on the weekly, the blue line here. So I think that's a good area of support to mark, and then depending, see if the price gravitates towards support or resistance, depending, or if we're just gonna go sideways. Let's see. Lots of green on the screen right here, which is good. Let's go to the big chart here. We traded Amazon yesterday, pretty much break even on the day. I took 3 trades on it, and went 1 for 3, and finished the day down like 20 bucks. I was down quite a bit more after the first 2 trades, but My thesis was right on the third trade. My third entry was around the same exact first two entry points, and so we got the move that we were initially looking for. It just took a hour and about 20 minutes for the market to break down. So right idea, just wrong timing on the first two. So Amazon on the weekly here, just gonna mark towards the top of the range on the weekly candle so far, which tested VWAP. I think that's a good area to draw some resistance here. Area support will do pretty much towards the bottom of the weekly candle as well. We zoom in, we got a couple touch points here and there. Look to our left, we got the big volume bar right here. So a lot of liquidity happening at the current price. So just looking at the scanner here, I'm gonna look at a couple different charts today and see if there's anything else going on. Okay, there we go. This is MSTR is a ticker name. I don't know the full name of the company. Maybe Master. I don't know. I'm just looking at the daily here. A lot of liquidity towards like 166 or 160, give or take. We've been a bit of a consolidation here, and so this might be good for a potential long break. Let's go to the monthly chart. Okay, monthly chart. I think a good area of support here for this guy would be a lot of big body candles here. You can see the big volume bar right here, so I think a good area of potential support. I'm gonna draw is 136, and then area of resistance, or it may potentially get to, if it can break out long, is maybe 165. So that might be something of interest here. Let's see what this guy looks like. Always too many data points. Let's do that. Okay. We got a bounce way left here. ADBE on the monthly, breaking down pretty aggressively here. What does the weekly look like? I don't know why that thing pops up like that. Is that a pretty significant area? Getting near a pretty significant area of support here. Draw the box here on this guy as well. 261. Say 260 for a resistance here. Just finding a lot of touch points here. Good area of support. 235. So if this thing can continue to move down, maybe 235 is where it will eventually get to. So if we look way left, we have to go back to 2018, where there was some liquidity, and we can see a bit of a tight range here. We kind of got above it, went back into range, tried to squeeze down below, came back up, tried to squeeze down below again, kind of came back up. So I think that's a good levels to mark there. Let's look at Meta. The metaverse. Meta is looking pretty weak, or maybe for a potential breakdown here. It's not a pretty significant area of support too. You got quite a few touch points here, so you can draw the box. Pretty much where the price currently is for support. Area of resistance here be about 663 for resistance, support being 628. Alright, let's go back to this chart here. Let's see. Just punching in these tickers that we just looked up the charts on. I want to see how much volume they have pre-market. There needs to be interest, or a stock in play would be a stock that has a lot of volume pre-market. Ideally, stocks that are above 1 million shares pre-market are pretty safe to say they're in play. MSTR has 847,000. That's up here. If you guys can see that. So a lot of good volume pre-market there. ADBE 910,000, 911,000. Just popped up a little bit. Meta 425,000. Let's thumb through some of these. Okay, Apple. Let's go to the daily here. Flip to the 3. Okay, Nvidia has a lot of volume. Let's check out Nvidia. Valid data range. Okay, let's try that again. Alright, zooming left here, guys. Again, Nvidia has just been flirting with this area of resistance here, kind of a mini range. Two ranges kind of going on here. Pretty much where the price is. You can see quite a few bounce points, especially right there. Got a couple wicks here, full body candle here, and then kind of above you have this little mini range as well. So I think a good area of resistance here would be pretty much where the price is currently at. Just looking at all these volume bars, maybe 188 be a good area of resistance. Might move that up just a little. Let's see. Okay, so area resistance 189.82 is pretty much 190. I think is a good area of potential bounce, or if the stock is strong, it can squeeze up to that point, and then depending on the price action, go from there. Area support 177. Let's see, PLTR has some decent volume as well. Just thumbing through the stocks here. MU has a lot of volume. Tesla, HIMS. Let's look at Tesla. Traded Tesla earlier this week and had a small loss overall on the day. Tesla hasn't really done much in the past couple weeks here since beginning of December. Really, it's been in a bit of a downtrend here, in a bit of a channel to the downside. So I'm gonna go to the monthly chart for Tesla here. Alright, good area of support here. 385 is what's standing out to me. I'm looking over here in this general direction. That looks good for me. in terms of support. Let me stretch this side out here, see where we're at. And then area of resistance, 414. Got a couple bounce points here, a couple tests of the box here. Bounce point there, bounce point there. So that's a good area for resistance. And then MU was a good ticker. Had quite a bit of volume pre-market. See if that loads. So on the monthly chart here, let's don't have too much to work with there. That's a little bit better. All right, MU been riding this 9 EMA essential moving average on the weekly chart, exponential moving average. Looks like it wants to break out towards the top side, so be curious to see if it can do that. Thing is, guys, like I said, pretty much through the whole week, if you've been with me, is I really don't want to play anything to the top side or downside unless the overall market is trending in the same direction. If the overall market's going sideways, mostly everything else tends to go sideways as well. Unless there's a catalyst for it or something. But so area of resistance here that I drew is pretty much where the price is at, 412, and then area of support 393. So nonetheless, doesn't mean that it can't break out to the upside. But if the SPY and Qs are very bullish, seem to show a lot of strength with a lot of volume, MU is a really good ticker for a potential break, and maybe possibly test the highs of this range. And that's a bit of a jump to get all the way up from 413 to 437. But something to keep an eye out on. SNDK, SanDisk, trade this one quite a bit. The liquidity on this one is not that good, so you really have to just rely on the volume. Volume bars toward the bottom. Those will let you know if there's interest or not into the upside or downside. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good for SanDisk. So for support, resistance, 648, pretty much 650 is where I'm drawing. I'll probably bring that down a little bit. Maybe about right there. So more so 648. And then area support that I'm going to draw is 597. Good psychological number, 600. Big whole number, big round number, so that's something to consider there. Let's see, PLTR actually has quite a bit of volume. Let's look at PLTR's chart. See if there's anything of interest there. Okay, PLTR has made a nice push up. It's been going sideways for quite some time, a couple days here. At a high area of liquidity, you can see the huge volume bar pushing all the way out here. So people seem to think the stock is highly valued at this dollar range around 150 to 154 to 157. So let's see, area of resistance 158 is what I am drawing. Area of support 152, 83. Looks good to me. You can see lots of little waypoints on the bottom side of this support box that I drew. Okay, that looks good. Just gonna mark up a bunch of charts here in case these few tickers don't give me an opportunity. Apple is such an interesting stock because when the market goes up, Apple will go down. it seems, and then when the market goes down, like SPY and Qs on the day, Apple tends to rally. That's something I've noticed over the past couple of years with Apple in regards to the daily price action on it. Okay, area of support 254, be a good bounce point, and then the high of that range that I'm drawing a resistance is 258, 259. And you can see lots of touch points here, lots of liquidity here, bounce point. So a lot of interest around those two levels. Let's look at AMD. We have 8 minutes until the open. AMD just kind of sideways for the most part. There's a nice little gap here that AMD was testing and has kind of made its way back up. But let's draw some support and resistance on this guy as well. See if it's going to try to climb back up, or it's kind of in no man's land right now to me. I think a good area of resistance here, we're going to go with 202. $200 is probably the better value number to go with here for area of resistance. It's kind of hard to depict where to draw that area of resistance. So area of support here, you can see a couple touches here toward the bottom of this range, 194-ish. So let's go to the daily here. Current price is 199, so there's going to be a lot of liquidity at the open for AMD since it's around 200. So it'll be interesting to see. Excuse me. It'll be interesting to see what AMD does at the open. I have a bigger water bottle today because yesterday I was dying. So we shouldn't be dehydrated today. Or feel dehydrated, you could say. Alright, yeah, it's looking good to me. See what else we have. What's Google looking like? Okay, Google, not really much interest here. It's just been going sideways. Amazon, not much volume on Amazon. We have MSTR, ABBE, Meta. Okay, so we have quite a few charts marked up that seem to be in play. Let's see, let's make sure this is the 3 minute. Okay. So 4 minutes until the open. Just kind of looking at where this is on a range. Okay, let's thumb through these tickers here. Put NVIDIA up on one of our charts. Let's do that. See if NVIDIA will gravitate toward one of the ranges, one of the boxes. So I only play near the box for my strategies, guys. I tend to do much better when price action is near a box, which is essentially just a key area of support and resistance. So where I mark on the box is where a lot of liquidity will happen. Let's see. put MU on here. I'm just putting my charts that I've drawn up on my other monitor here. We have 3 minutes until the open. Go more towards the bottom of the high range. Okay, I think I'm gonna watch MU at the open here. I think that's a good ticker to keep an eye out on. So swing this around. Okay, that's good. Look, one more thing. Alright, minute 30 until the market opens. Not much going on MU in terms of the level 2 of limit orders looking to be filled. Alright, 1 minute to the open. Make sure you record your trades, guys. If you're a trader, plan to trade. If you're currently trading and you don't record your trades, you're missing out on a lot of good feedback and growth potential. So always record your trades. I'm always going to emphasize that so you can do your homework. Excuse me. So screen is recording. And yeah, let's see what the market will do this morning. See MU. Alright. Ding, ding, ding. Market's open. MU. Seeing if it's going to just push up here. It opened above the box here. This was the one that looked like a good potential long to the upside. So far it looks strong. Lots of volume. SPY looks pretty bullish here. Looks like it might want to try to break out this low mini range. It's been in on the day. Yeah, MU, look at that. Nice big green candle for the first minute candle. There's lots of orders to 420. Lots of orders up to 420. So the level 2 ladder is very bullish. So wouldn't be surprised if MU doesn't make it up to 420. Looks like it wants to. It's pushing up pretty aggressively. Yeah, very strong. I normally don't trade the first 5 minutes, give or take. Sometimes I do, if there's very obvious signals. A lot of times the volatility is just a bit too much for me personally to take a open and range break within like the first minute or two. 420 has a nice limit order, 20,000 shares. It's the next big limit order, so won't be surprised if it doesn't get up to 420. SNDK is looking pretty interesting. I'm going to go to the options chart for SanDisk. It's getting near the box here. Find one of these puts to look at. There's really not a whole lot of interest on puts. Probably this guy here. So I'm on 630 puts. So I want to make sure my ping's looking good. Everything seems really smooth. Let's see, let's go to on there. I want to see what SanDisk does when it gets up there. See if it gives me an opportunity. MU's at 419, pushing all the way up to that 420. 419.50 is where MU's currently at. So very bullish. So just watching, waiting. This is the 1 minute chart. Stock is testing this R4. It's busted through the R4 here with a nice big green candle. So I wouldn't be surprised if SanDisk doesn't push up a little higher here. MU 419.50 is where MU's at. Very strong. MU's very strong. I'm gonna go to MU here, guys. Looks good, okay. Just watching the price action on MU near this 420. Watching that volume. I'd like to see what happens at 420 if it can get there. I'm gonna see if it's gonna hold this little range here, or if it's just gonna pull back. Still have that limit order at 420. Got pretty dang close to 419.87. So area where some buyers may step in off this moving average here. That moving average is near the volume, or excuse me, this 1 minute volume bar here, relatively close to it. So some buyers want to step in and add to their position. It's probably going to be on this moving average or VWAP. If MU here doesn't, if it can go back up to 420 and test it, or at least test this high, gonna watch that price action. If it gives me an opportunity to short the stock, I'm definitely gonna be looking back for the box here to close my position. So you know, that's if the stock does give me the opportunity, it's about a $10 move. on the stock. So let's see what happens here. It's pushing up now. We look at the 3-minute here, pretty big shooting star, quite a bit of volume. So now we're moving up and testing. Let's see if it's going to fill that 420. I have a SPY on my other computer here, or other monitor. SPY looks like it wants to break long. So that should give MU a opportunity to the upside. Give it some gas to the upside, but you can see it's starting to reject a little bit. 419, showing a little bit of resistance up here. 2-minute chart here. More of a bullish candle, kind of sold off, got bought back up, holding R4 right here. So could potentially break to 420. The SPY can push up high right here. I think it'll blast through 420. All right. 420 looking to get filled here. Volume slowly picking up here. You can see on the 3-minute candle, this volume's picking up as well, testing the high. So just watching it right now. SPY seems bullish still to the upside. That limit order, I think, just got filled here. So 420 got filled. See if it's going to push higher here. Yep, SPY's going up. MU's riding that wave right now. Testing R4 on the 3-minute chart. I'm just watching the price action. This volume, this next candle should go higher than this one. Ideally, if there's a big buyer stepping in. Seems to show some weakness. Look at that 2-minute. That's a big red candle, shooting star. Let's see when that closes. I would love for this to test 420 again and then watch what happens from there. Let's see what happens here. That's a nice candle for us for a potential short. I just want to see what happens at this 420 level. Volume's dying down pretty significantly here. Still just kind of going sideways. Okay, pushing up. Let's see what happens here. Look at that volume die significantly. Yeah, I'm going to take a long put here, so I'm short bias on the stock. I have 5 contracts. Looking for a move back down. Volume's died off a lot. Doesn't seem to be much interest to the upside unless SPY can just push this thing up. Seems like it's going to go. SPY's still bullish. So I want to see if we can pull back. We can pull back. Still trending up higher. So 5 contracts, a little bit bigger share size here. I'd love to see it pull back to like 417 if possible, which would pretty much be VWAP on the 1 minute chart. 2 minute chart here, you can see a lot of volume. The volume's died off a lot. Nice big green candle though. Might get squeezed here. It seems strong. I'm all out. So we got squeezed. SPY still pushing up. So 313. So 0 for 1 so far. Let's see how much we lost. 300 on that trade. So again, a little bit bigger share size on that one. Still just watching this stock. SPY and Q's very bullish. We're away from the box, guys, so I took a loss here. I told you guys I do play near the box. We didn't play near the box on this trade, so that's probably why I just lost 300. Also, MU is at a nice area for potential long to break out of our range, so trying to short a long, or trying to short a stock that seems very bullish is it's a double-edged sword with that one. So it makes sense why I lost on that trade. But something to review tonight. Keep in mind. So far down 300. Let's take a look at some other charts here. So SPY's rallying. SPY's getting toward the top of this box that I drew. So it'd be interesting to see what happens there. PLTR played the box range here. Tried to break down from the box here, and it's been rallying up pretty nicely here. That's a nice candle for potential long off this 3 minute candle, shooting star, or hammer, you want to call it. Sold off, got bought back up. MU, very strong. We'll go back to MU on the options. Next liquidity area for MU with a couple orders stacked up. 425 has a nice limit order of 50,000 shares, so it's about $1 away from 425. Very bullish on the candlesticks here. You can see a lot of big green candles. Volume's been very steady. Nice good amount of volume here as it's pushing up on the 2 minute chart and 3 minute chart. So if I was to short this again, I really need some good confirmation here. MU still grinding up. SPY still moving up. 15-minute candle just closed. Very bullish candle for MU on the 15. Huge green candle. Just strong buying on that. So to me, the stock is going to continue to move up. We are getting some extension from VWAP. Just going to thumb through some of my other charts here. As I thumb through these quickly, I'm looking to see if we're near a box and looking at the volume. Yeah, SNDK. SNDK slowly trying to work its way up here. Looks like it might want to break long right here shortly to test the box. ADBE trying to make its way up to the box. Let's go back to MU. MU 425 with a huge limit order. Stock got real close to it, about 25 cents away. Price action's been very bullish, so I wouldn't be surprised if this guy got to 425. If you were long bias on this trade, there's a wonderful opportunity for a nice chunk of change, especially on this pullback right here. There's a lot of confirmation for support right here as well to take a long. If you miss the initial break, 416 all the way up to 420, 423. On the 1 minute chart here, you can see this 9 EMA. It's trending very nicely. This is still very much bullish to me, guys. The 2 minute chart here, nice big green candles with a lot of volume. And then when we finally have some red candles, the volume dies off. So there doesn't seem to be much interest back downwards. As you can see, we're starting to actually get bought back up. So buyers have stepped in again around 422. Excuse me. I'm watching SNDK. See what SNDK does. Well, I paid the price with the MU, guys. I didn't play near the box, and like I've said, when I don't play near the box, I tend to lose money. We did on that trade. So that's the thing with trading, guys. You want to minimize making the same mistakes with trading. It's hard not to, and because you allow your emotions to get involved, you have a bias and stuff. So MU still grinding higher. Let's go to SNDK on the options. SanDisk. Looks like it wants to push higher here. It's been riding this moving average. Just watching SanDisk right now, guys. It's definitely trending higher. Overall market's trending higher. I want to see what SanDisk does if it can test the box here. We go back to this chart. SPY did test the box, bounced right off of it. Working its way back down to VWAP, it looks like. MU here going sideways, which is good for the longs. It's good to see a stock move up and potentially find value as it goes sideways, because if it's not going back down, that's wonderful if you're long biased. What you really don't want is things to shoot up like a rocket, because if they shoot up like a rocket, eventually the rocket's going to run out of gas and it's going to have to come back down pretty aggressively. So make a nice leg up, going sideways, make another nice leg up, go sideways. That's what you want if you're long bias on this stock here. So 425 has that limit order, 60,000 shares waiting to get filled. SPY here looks like it's trying to push back up, so Q's looks bullish, engulfing this candle here. See if that can get bullish. That 425 was filled. You can see the volume here, lots of volume. Still pushing up, look at that, pushing through 425. Is it going to rally? Pushing up higher. It's very bullish. A lot of good signals, guys, for long here on this MU from the opening. This pullback was wonderful for to get in long right here. If we zoom in on this 2-minute chart, R4 came right at pivot point, tested R4, and then came back down to VWAP. That's where people got in long right there. Got bought back up, and then we closed above R4 again. So there's a lot of confirmation here for a very nice long, even from 417 and up. MU still climbing here. Things seem to slowly just keep grinding up today, so today might be a good trend day. I like to play a lot of reversals, so trying to take a reversal on a trend, you're not going to get the biggest move on it. So with that being said, you have to be very patient on taking a reversal on a trend day. You have to wait until the volume gives you a very obvious signal. Next, liquidity areas of limit orders to be filled to the upside for MU is 427 has a nice order, 428 has a nice order. Looks like it wants to keep going. Nice volume, 3-minute chart here. Got some decent volume here, bigger than the previous candle. Big green body. Nothing but buying on that. So SanDisk is getting close to my box here, so I'm just going to watch this for a moment. See if this presents some sort of opportunity here. MU's at 426. Watching SanDisk here. Just watching. Gotta be patient. Have to be patient. SanDisk is getting relatively close here. 650 is the next decent liquidity order. It's not a lot of shares, 8,000 shares looking to get filled. But SanDisk pushing up here, testing the box. Volume's increasing here. It's a 2-minute chart. Bit of an indecision candle. This might close as an indecision candle depending. Bit of a shooting star on the 3-minute. Still trending up. This 1 minute's looking more bullish biased. So still watching, just watching. Need to wait for confirmation. $30-minute candle's going to close here in 2 minutes for SanDisk. It's a very bullish candle. We go to the 30 on this chart for you guys to see. Very bullish. A lot of green here. So, just watching the price action here. MU still grinding higher. Even though MU's away from the box, guys, I want to trade it. Is that revenge trading because I lost on it? Could be, huh? It's the emotions of trading the stock market. If you want a revenge trade sometimes. I'm just watching the price action. We have to stay sharp. So a bit of a pullback on the SNDK here. I want to see if it's going to shoot up here. Yeah, 650 is the area people are looking for to sell some shares. MU making its way to 430, man. That thing is on a rocket. Yeah, if he was long, man, he was good today. Still just watching this NDK here. Want to see if it's going to push up. On the 3-minute chart, I have some decent volume here. Showing some initial resistance. Testing R4 as well. This could be a good potential area for a short. But the ladder, the level 2, definitely more to the upside in terms of limit orders waiting to be filled. So just waiting. We're still riding this moving average here as well. So I'm just watching. Still just watching. Sitting on our hands, just waiting. Seeing what SanDisk does here. Are you going to push up, look for 650, or are you going to struggle here? It's really struggling at this R4 here, guys. I am keen to take a short on it, or long puts. Seems interesting for that for me. SPY selling off. Volumes died down quite a bit. I think I might take one contract here. So one contract to the downside, or long puts. I'm short bias now. See what happens. So reduced my share size significantly from earlier. I had 5 contracts on the previous trade. Just one contract here. I want to see if maybe we can at least pull back to VWAP. That'd be ideal. It's really struggling with this R4. May get squeezed here. The ladder is definitely more bullish. Maybe could have been a little more patient here. Let's just wait and see. We are above this range here. You can see a couple touch points here. So this is an area of support for longs. Just want to see if we can squeeze back down. At least back to VWAP. I think I'll get out at VWAP if we can get there. SPY and Q. SPY did pull back quite a bit, but it's pretty much just floating around VWAP. I want to see if we can lose this level here. It's not much orders to the downside. We're starting to pull back a little bit, which is nice. Volume is very low though. Look at this 2-minute chart. We have some nice selling pressure here, but the volume's extremely low. So we don't like that. We'd love to see volume increasing. Starting to pull back here. Looking for pretty much 637, but it seems very bullish. Seems like it wants to squeeze up here. So we're ready to get out if it does squeeze up. Volume's increasing, so it's definitely more bullish price action right now. It's a nice 1-minute candle to the upside. Still just waiting. If it tests, if it gets above that high of this range, I'm all out. Still, excuse me, still just watching. One thing with option guys is time is your enemy. The longer you're in options trade, at least from my experience with these day trading options, is the longer you're in a trade, the less like risk to reward or probabilities of being in your favor. Seeming to pull back here. It's a nice 2-minute candle there. Might want to add a little bit. Spine keys are selling off. 3-minute looks good. That's nice for me. So I'm just watching now. Looks like we may pull back to VWAP. If we can get down to 638, that's like the low of this liquidity range, that would be sweet. So just below VWAP on the 1 minute, if we can get to 638. Seemed like we were maybe going to move down there, but getting bought back up, so not going down just yet. It's not going down without a fight. So 3-minute chart now. You can see it's riding this moving average nicely. Looks like it's gonna try to squeeze up here. Doesn't want to go down. Happy I didn't add to my position. SPY's moving down. I'd love to see SNDK feel some of that momentum to the downside. But as of right now, it seems more bullish. Still just slowly trending up higher. Just one contract, guys. Going sideways here, so if you're bullish, if you got in down here, maybe towards the bottom of this range. If you're long bias, fingers crossed, you can push to maybe 650. SPY's moving down. I would love to see SanDisk feel some of that momentum and go down. Nice bid order at 641.5. Still just going sideways though. Just looking for maybe 638, give or take. That's near VWAP. You can see on the level 2 over here, nice little liquidity. Some buyers right here, 641.50. So price pushes down, this guy will move up and hit the bid right here. Slam the bid is what they call it. So SPY it's been trending down a little bit, making a bit of an indecision candle. It would have been nice to see SanDisk ride some of that way back down, but it's just holding here, so that's not too good for me in terms of like if SPY were to bounce, then SanDisk may ride that train up with it. Stocks are kind of weird that way. Sometimes they're selective on if they want to ride the overall market down or up, depending. Unless the SPY or Qs are given lots of volume to the upside or downside, then it tends to pull everything with it. So SPY is still it's still trending down, but volume's decreasing as it's moving down. So maybe a lack of interest for shorts. Testing the bottom of this upper range here. Still in the trade, still waiting, still watching. It'd be nice to get back to VWAP at least. But we definitely have seemed to find value for this price of $642 for SanDisk. Let's see, are the buyers going to step in? 3-minute chart bouncing off that moving average very nicely. So see if it's going to respect that trend. Alright, where are we going, man? 638 I think will be my target for profit to sell that position. Can we squeeze down? We're getting closer. We need to see some volume though. If there's no volume, at least algos push it down to there where buyers would step in so I can just liquidate my position. That'd be cool. Three-minute chart tested this moving average, is bought back up above it. Want to see, just keep watching here. Still in the trade. SPY's still moving down, man. I'd love for it to pull down SanDisk with it. Seems like MU and SanDisk are a bit in sync in terms of their price action. SanDisk isn't really moving down. Okay, here we go. Can we squeeze the 638? That's what we're looking for. Testing VWAP here. I'm looking for 638. A lot of buyers are going to step in here. To squeeze to 638 would be pretty generous, I'd say. Two-minute chart here. Volume's increasing, bought up, sold off. That's nice for me. It's very generous. 638, which is VWAP. I think I'm gonna just get out, take my profit. As if we can get there. Who knows, maybe I'll get 638 and just keep moving down, but I don't really care to find out. There we go. $638.24 is what it just squeezed to. 3-minute volume's picking up. That's nice for me. 60 cents away. There we go. Okay, we're all out. We close that position. SPY's really breaking down. Might have been best to hold that, but whatever. Look at that, 630. What was I looking for? 638. It's almost at 635 now. Alright, we closed that position, so nonetheless, we made back some of our money. So, green arrow here is where I went long puts. One contract, which equals 100 shares at 722. All out at 892. We were down 300 on the day. Right now we're down 126 on the day. So we made back some of those losses. Which is nice. Happy about that. Cool. Let's go back. So nice, very nice squeeze down to 635. And a nice volume on this 3-minute candle. 2-minute candle volume's increasing as it's going down. So wouldn't have been a bad idea to hold that if I would have had maybe 2 contracts. Probably would have sold one and see what the other one would do, see if it would go anywhere for me. But so now we're down, guys, 126 on the day. So it's better than 300. $6.20 now. Normally get ready in 10 minutes, so might be wrapping it up here. There's the MU, guys. MU's trending up real nicely. Pull back a little bit. Seems like it wants to get bullish again and head on up. Apple is near the box here. Look at all this volume, and you have this one random candle with a lot of liquidity. So trending down toward the box. Volume is very stagnant, so or very evenly distributed. So there's not really much interest for me, at least not yet for this stock. I'd have to see what the price action volume does near the box. Nvidia seems like it wants to pull back. Oh, PLTR. This looks interesting. Look at this, bouncing right off the box. PLTR is only down 1%, so it hasn't really moved a whole lot on the day. PLTR is looking pretty weak. Here's SanDisk, guys, so that's why I got out of my position. Is we got the move we wanted, but now it's pulling back to our entry, so we took what we could from that trade and made back some of those losses. If the market sells off here, PLTR is gonna go. Look at this on the 3-minute chart, the 9 EMA lining up with the box. There's also S4, kind of hard to tell right here. S4 is lined up here. So there's a reason why there's so many touch points at this level. And it's not pushing up because this is definitely an area of sellers to get in. So 1 for 2 on trades today. MU. much too big of a share size, I would say. I was away from the box, so I broke that rule. So that's something I need to consider. And I have a rule, a bunch of rules written on a page here that I need to abide by. Let's see if you guys can see that. Just a notebook. Probably can't read that, but there's rules on here. And when I do follow my rules, I usually have a check mark of profit. So, and the first rule that I have is trade at/near the box equals profit. When I normally do that, I tend to be more profitable. If I don't trade near the box, I put equals loss. And I lost. So, the very first rule I have, I broke it and I paid for it. So if that don't tell you what trading is all about, is that the market will take your money if you don't have an edge or follow your edge and you're wrong. Trading is really hard, and if you aren't right, the market will take your money 99% of the time. It is extremely hard to get lucky in the stock market, and if it was easy, everybody would do it. So, well, that's the fun part of stock trading, is it's hard, and we grow when we do hard things. So I love trading. It's fun. Okay, I think I might wrap it up here, guys. PLTR. If I had another hour, it'd be great. I'd love to see PLTR test this box again. Love to see VWAP catch up to the box, and then squeeze up and then sell off near the box. This is just me visualizing, and if that were to happen, that would be a really nice time to take a short to the downside, probably to 150. If this breaks down, I believe I wouldn't be surprised if it would get to 150. That's a nice big round number. Let's see, PLTR. Just looking at the level 2 here. See if there's any huge orders. 151, 30,000 shares. 150, 22,000 shares. So it's not a whole lot of. The ladder is actually pretty evenly distributed in terms of buyers and sellers waiting for the orders to get filled. So there's not really a bias of upside or downside. But price action definitely is saying downside, right? Market open, it sold off, and then got bought back up. Found some resistance up here, came right back down into this range. So people definitely seem to think PLTR right now is worth 152, give or take. So following this trend line on the 1 minute chart. Let me see. So I'm looking at how I did on the week. Pretty sure it was a red week. Let's see if it was a lot or a little. So far this week, I'm down $103 on the week, which is not bad. Not bad at all. This month of March, I'm up $421 this month. So far this month has been a green month. And for this week, since streaming live, I'm down $103. So that's really good for me. Again, when I have my winners, I tend to win much bigger. So we shall see what next week brings for me. See what opportunities there are. Stock market right now is in just with all the news going on and stuff, stock market's in a pretty interesting time frame. but as of the past couple days here, since the beginning of March, really, it's been more of a bearish month for the overall market. So PLTR just riding this little range here. Buyers and sellers are duking it out. If you're long biased right here, be a little more nerve-wracking. Definitely rather want to be short. 2-minute chart here, 9 EMA. Riding the wave here, bounce point, bounce point, bounce point, bounce point. So it's just a matter of, are you going to trend down from here? VWAP's catching up to it. This would be really sweet for me if I had the time to just sit and watch and wait and see if VWAP can catch up to the box and maybe take a trade, but we don't have that time. We have to go to our other job. Alright guys, 2 days now, 2 days in a row of no lagging or spikes or anything, no glitching out, so that brings me more confidence, and I'm very happy about that. First 3 days were really rough, and 2 out of those 3 days I took some trades, and while I was in the actual trade, my computer crashed, and so I had to hop on the phone, try to liquidate those positions as fast as I could. So with me being only down $100 on the week, given 3 days of choppiness in regards to my internet, I'm very fortunate, very happy about that. So yeah, I'm do my homework this weekend, guys, and review my trades. I haven't been reviewing them as of lately before bed, just been tired. But I highly encourage you guys to do your homework before bedtime. It just gives you more screen time, gives you more confidence, and repetition. So definitely much better to review your trades the same day rather than waiting till the weekend. That is not good to do. So take it from me, and I need to take my own advice on that. So I need to review this weekend, and then come Monday I need to get back to reviewing my trades before bedtime. So alright, that's all I got for you guys today. For anybody who's tuned in, much appreciated, and we'll be back at it again Monday. Thank you guys. I'll see you.